appreciate it. So I guess the loose plan right now is we just kind of introduce, I guess, myself. Kris, I'm a co-founder with Adam of Coinos, and most people know us more for our web wallet. So we're a Bitcoin and layer 2 Bitcoin web wallet. So we use Lightning Network, and we use a technology called Liquid, which we'll talk about today, from Blockstream. And so that's how most people know us. But behind the hood, we've been really busy for about a year now, building out a tech stack called LNFT right now, which is a white label NFT marketplace. So the plan right now is just to kind of talk about our origin story, what we've built so far, which I think will be really interesting to this group, what we're building right now, and then where we think things are headed. And at the end, I think we'll do a demo of behind the scenes of our white label NFT marketplace, specifically the one that we're running for Blockstream, which is called raretoshi.com. The last thing I guess I'll say to set the stage is we really want Q&A here. So I'm watching the live YouTube questions. I think Michael said he'll share some too. So if you have any questions about Bitcoin/liquid-based NFTs in general, throw your questions at us. Anything else? Maybe I'll pass it over to Adam before I kind of jump in with the origin story.
No, just happy to be here. I'm the CTO of Coinos, so I'm the developer. I'll just mention all of our stuff is open source. So as we do the demo, I'll show everyone the links to the GitHub, and if anything you see here is all free open source software that you could potentially run yourself if you want, or you can hire us to set it up and get it running for you and help you with it. So back to you, Kris.
Awesome. Yeah. So I guess the story, I guess it starts with when we integrated Liquid. Again, Liquid is a layer 2 Bitcoin protocol. So it allows two things to happen through this federated protocol, which is open source also. And it allows two things to happen on top of Bitcoin. One of them is it allows confidential transactions. So that's a new thing that can't really be done on the Bitcoin blockchain. And the other one is it does effectively smart contracts. And so the folks at Blockstream had the kind of opportunity to watch Ethereum and all of these other altcoins that we've heard of over the years with all their functionality through smart contracts. And now with the capabilities of Liquid, this can all be done on top of the Bitcoin blockchain, which, as we know, is the kind of king of blockchains. And so when we integrated it into the web wallet, Blockstream kind of conversation happened with them. And they said, we think that NFTs are going to be big in 2021. We want to have an NFT marketplace. And so they asked us if we would want to build that for them. And so we had the pleasure of building raretoshi.com, which is kind of our flagship product. And they agreed that Adam and I kind of, our values and principles are all around open source. And so we said, we'll build it for you on the condition that we can keep it open source and other people can use it. And they're progressive and agreed to that. So we've had the pleasure of working with them on that and several other projects since. From that, all kinds of doors started to open. So we've been working with really big brands. We helped Playboy magazine launch their first NFTs, which is also on the Bitcoin blockchain. And because we're a white label, the entertaining thing is most people have just never even heard of us. But yet we can't even keep up with demand right now. So we're doing something right, we like to think, but it's been a lot of fun along the way. One thing I'll say is, again, I'm just kind of watching for questions if people have them as we come up. But while we have Raretoshi and we have a couple clients that are doing the traditional image-based NFTs, which is kind of where all the hype is right now, as we've talked about, I'm really excited for the future uses of NFTs. As all of us know probably on this conference, is that NFTs are the future. Like there's no denying it. And so we're just building that technology that's going to be ubiquitous in the next 5 to 10 years. So one of the examples with that is we had a client that has a sci-fi feature film. It's called silhouettesthemovie.com. And we built the first Bitcoin-based NFT ticket engine with that site. So you can go and the only way you can watch this movie is by paying with Bitcoin or cryptocurrency. And we can check and validate that you have that NFT ticket in your wallet while you're watching the video. So that's a really kind of interesting take. NFT tickets is a whole new kind of vertical, right? Because it instantly removes the challenges with scalping because we can validate the authenticity in real time. But it also allows for resale, legal resale. So it's a fascinating use case. This one was quite successful of a project, and they're actually turning it into an entire movie studio that's going to be all NFT based, and we're going to be on the back end for that. So that's one exciting new use case of NFTs that people might not be aware of. Another one project we have coming down the road, which is really exciting in a Central American country, is around using harvest rights. So buying an NFT, you will get harvest rights to a teak and avocado plantation. And when they start to harvest it every year, you will just get dividends assigned to you based on your NFT holdings. And not only do you get that NFT dividends yourself, you can assign royalties to a local family on the ground in this developing country as well. So it's a really kind of another unique use case of NFTs that's not really been seen before. We have an NFT experiences platform that's going to launch by the end of this year. So people who want to do experiences like a dinner out with a celebrity, or a backcountry skiing trip, you'll be able to do all of these NFT based experiences, also using our tech stack. The really big one that I'm really excited in, we have 4 or 5 projects in the pipeline right now based around real estate NFTs. So, within 6 months, you will be able to take your apartment or your house and turn it into an NFT. Super fascinating use cases from that I'll let our client kind of talk about it as it launches, but it's really exciting what they've got behind the hood. We also have another conversation going with a fellow who's solved a really fascinating thing where you will be able to take equity out of your property right now as an NFT, and using that NFT, you will be able to leverage it to buy Bitcoin using the equity from your house. And so that's a really novel thing that this fellow has solved for. I think the one other one that stands out in terms of our current customers is we have a tequila brand in Mexico who has these really fancy bottles that are going to tequila bottles. They're going to have an NFC, the thing that you tap with your phone. You're going to be able to tap that bottle to prove that you own it, and that NFC is going to map to an NFT in their marketplace. Now, what's really fascinating with that is, imagine in a year from now that he decided to fly everyone who had one of those 100 bottles down to Mexico, and that could be like, say, a $2,000 trip that he's offering to anyone who holds that NFT. Well, all of a sudden, I could now sell that NFT if I couldn't make it down, or there's a huge, massive resale market from that NFT ticket. So, and there's been lots of exciting things talked about over the last couple of days. I'm like super excited to follow up with many of you presenters. So much fun, exciting things in the space. I think fashion brands is a really big one. I like the play to earn sports thing play to earn games as well as esports are both really fascinating use cases, as well as the metaverse in terms of NFTs. And so, again, our niche is we don't run our own tech stack. We run it for big brands. And so if you're a brand that wants Bitcoin-based NFTs, this is where we really shine. Maybe pass it over to Adam. Is there anything else that you can think of in terms of our existing projects that's interesting to NFTers?
No, I think you covered a lot of them. There's the SIM numbers as NFTs too.
Oh yeah, that's a really exciting one. So for those who have never heard of SIM jacking or SIM swapping, we have a phone company that we're going to be wrapping your DID or your phone number as an NFT, which is a really fascinating use case to solve for SIM jacking. Anybody who's in the crypto space, for more than 5 years is probably aware of SIM jacking because it's a prolific problem for people who are known Bitcoiners. And so that's a really another exciting use case for NFTs.
And we have a game company we're working with that's tokenizing their in-game assets. It's in the metaverse, so it's another popular use case. But we're probably preaching to the choir, just talking about the endless potential of NFTs. So maybe I'll hop into just sort of talk a little bit more why we sort of focused on the Liquid network specifically, rather than Ethereum or Solana or Cardano or one of the other many platforms that are popping up to mint your NFTs on and trade them on. I think, Kris, you kind of touched on it a little bit, but the Liquid network was originally forked off of the Bitcoin source code. So it shares pretty much the same code base, but it was tweaked a little bit to change a few parameters to be able to have faster blocks, have confidential transactions so that you can like mask the amounts and the assets that are being sent in each transaction. So you can have stronger privacy. And to be able to support this concept of a sidechain. So instead of issuing a new token, like a liquid token that's its own currency that isn't pegged to Bitcoin, this sidechain was developed so that any new liquid Bitcoin that's created on this network has to be fully backed or wrapped by actual Bitcoin, or it's wrapping actual Bitcoin. So the way that works is people will send some amount of Bitcoin, whatever amount they want, to the Liquid network, and it goes into a big multi-sig account. And after 100 confirmations on the Bitcoin chain, that amount of liquid Bitcoin will be produced on the Liquid chain. And then you can conduct transactions with it, just in the same way that you would conduct a Bitcoin transaction on the Bitcoin chain. So it means that you can send a bunch of transactions back and forth on Liquid. You're guaranteed that they're backed 100% by Bitcoin. And it just gives you the ability to transact a little bit faster and more privately. And if you ever want to get your Liquid Bitcoin back into regular Bitcoin, there's a way to peg out Liquid Bitcoin, which essentially burns it. And the Bitcoin that was locked up initially to back it would then be released. So you can go both ways. And there's a lot of exchanges and sites you can go to do that conversion. Ours is one of them. So Coinos Io, if you create an account here, you can register some username. I'll do NFTCON, make up a password, and I can receive a deposit here, either Bitcoin, Liquid Bitcoin, or Bitcoin over the Lightning Network. And in this case, I'll just do like a regular Bitcoin transaction. So I'm going to send myself a little bit of funds here. And that shows up as unconfirmed. Once that gets a block confirmation on the Bitcoin network, those funds will then be spendable. So it's going to mine a block. I'm running a test network here, so this isn't real Bitcoin. This is like Play Bitcoin on my local computer. And yeah, Coinos is, like I mentioned, it's open source. So if you want to check out our GitHub, it's at github.com/Coinos. You can set this up on your own computer, on your own server. And that's what we're looking at here. So just to mention that. And we do maintain a public instance of this that, if you go to Coinos.io, this is running on a server that we're hosting as like a free instance for people to play around with. So you can create an account here, and this will be using real money. So you can do a real Bitcoin deposit here. You can use this wallet to do Lightning Network payments or Liquid payments. And you can use it to create new Liquid assets. So let's hop back to my test environment here. I'm going to go and just walk through the process of creating a new asset on the Liquid network. So if I want to create, say, 10,000 NFTCON coins, we'll give it a ticker symbol, and we can put in a domain name here. What's the official NFTCON domain? NFTCON.co, okay. So then as the issuer of the token, and if you want to register this asset to make it official, you'd have to like provide a proof that you're the domain owner, so people can't, you know, just pretend that they're the owner of that domain. It'll actually go out and check that you own it by getting you to serve a file from there. You can set your precision, so if you want this to be divisible into like 8 decimal places like Bitcoin is, you can leave it at 8. If you want to make a a unique token here, like a 1 of 1, you could set the precision to 0 and set the supply to 1, and that'll essentially create an NFT because it's just like a 1 of 1. So let me go and mine that on the Liquid network, and you can see that we now have this NFT coin, and we can just keep it in our wallet here. We can transfer it to another user on the server. I can give it away to Bob.
I'm just going to pause for a second if we can, Adam. We've got a bunch of questions that I think we can kind of answer as we go through this. So one of the questions that came in was, what about gas fees? So we call it transaction fees in Bitcoin. Gas is an Ethereum specific term. And there's the question popping up right now. And so what's really exciting is the wholesale rate that we offer our clients is 3 cents to mint an NFT. So for those who've been playing on the Ethereum network in the last 6 months, where the fees are $50 to $100, I mean, it was over $250 a couple days ago, or a couple weeks ago, I guess, a week and a half ago. It's 3 cents to mint on us. So it's literally orders of magnitude, or less zeros to mint on our platform. So it's not even comparable to anything Ethereum based. So that's and so you as a client of ours can charge 10 cents to mint if you wanted to, and you've guys got over 200% markup at 10 cents, which is again light years cheaper than what most people participating in NFTs are used to experiencing. So that's really exciting in terms of the transaction / minting fees. One of the questions is, how long have we been participating in the space? Well, so Coinos, the web wallet that Adam just showed you, has been around since, I think, 2012. We're almost 10 years old. So we've been in the game for a long time. We implemented Lightning Network in 2018. So for those who follow Bitcoin, or especially the El Salvador news this year, everyone's kind of talking about Lightning right now on the Bitcoin network. Well, we implemented it. We were one of the first 100 production nodes in 2018. And so what that means is if you're using Coinos and you have some Bitcoin in there, you can easily send sats to me in less than a second using Lightning Network. You could send me $100,000 in the click of a button. So it's a really useful service that we've had since 2018, and then we've added Liquid as well. And I think, as Adam mentioned, these are seamlessly integrated with us. So you don't need a separate Liquid wallet. There are Liquid specific wallets, to answer Convicted Marketer. But ours, we've seamlessly integrated Lightning, Liquid, and Bitcoin. So you just have your sats in there. So say let's just say I have $1,000 worth of Bitcoin in my Coinos wallet. I can now send Adam $100 in the click of a button. I could also go on Raretoshi and go and buy an art piece from that same app. So from a user experience perspective, users are not used to such a seamless experience that you don't have to go and sell your Bitcoin for Liquid or understand how to install a privacy invasive web plugin, which is what a lot of people are doing. We're also a web wallet. We're very privacy focused, and so we don't want to force users to use American tech services. So if you're using like the Google Play Store or the Apple Play Store, these are very privacy invasive systems. And so we're uniquely a web wallet. That means that you can access your Bitcoin from any internet enabled device. As long as you have internet or data, you're good to go. So hopefully that answers. Oh, and so in terms of the white label NFT marketplace, that's just this year. And again, we've been kind of under the hood. I guess until now, no one's even really heard of us, unless you ask, well, who set up Raretoshi, or who set up NFTGlee.com, or one of our client sites, or silhouettesthemovie.com, or who set that up. And so again, we're having trouble keeping up with demand without even having marketed yet. So it's kind of a really exciting space. We're also completely bootstrapped. we're kind of like that we're open source and doing things our way, so we're not beholden to investors that are setting an intellectual property trajectory for us. So that's really exciting for us. Does Liquid need its own wallet? Well, as I mentioned, there are Liquid specific wallets that you can have, and so you can. But from Coinos, you can send your NFTs on Liquid from any Liquid wallet to any other Liquid wallet. So hopefully that answers that. Can the NFTs be sent to any Bitcoin wallet? Is one of the questions. Adam, do you want to answer?
No, you need a Liquid wallet.
So again, it's a layer 2 protocol that sits on top of Bitcoin. But if you're using Coinos.io as your web wallet, then it's a seamless integration there. You don't need a separate Liquid wallet. So obviously that's what we recommend, and we're building around it so that the user experience is as seamless as possible. Can NFTs be? Does Liquid chain have smart contracts? How does the NFTs look like on chain with UTXOs?
Yeah, in a sense, it does have smart contracts. It has the scripting language that Bitcoin has, and that you can have all these different opcodes. It's a stack-based programming language that you can program the transactions to be, invalid until a certain date, or they can go into a multi-sig account that has different signers on it. You can have covenants. Liquid actually added a few new opcodes to extend the scripting language beyond what Bitcoin can do out of the box. So there's a few more esoteric things that you can do with Liquid. And the next iteration of Liquid is going to just blow that out of the water in terms of kind of moon math type stuff that these cryptographers at Blockstream are working on. So the UTXO model for Liquid transactions, it is very similar to Bitcoin transactions. So if we look at a Liquid transaction on the block explorer here, we can see it has inputs on the left and outputs on the right. In this case, the main difference between Liquid is that these inputs, they might not be Bitcoin inputs. They could be another Liquid asset. So you can have, multiple different assets being added as inputs to a transaction, and then multiple different recipients to receive them, as long as the totals of all the assets in Bitcoin, or potentially stable coins, as long as the inputs total the outputs, the transaction's considered valid. So this might actually be a good point to hop into doing a demo issuance, like a minting of a new token through Raretoshi here. So I'm just going to add this artwork, call it city, and you can fill in your metadata. If it's a physical piece that you're going to ship to the person, you could say, I'll ship this to you. You can describe the artwork here. You can tag it. And then we've just minted a new Liquid token. So you can see all the details of it on my block explorer here. We've created this new asset. So this is the input to this transaction, and my Raretoshi wallet is receiving this one new token to my wallet. So if I go into my wallet on the website here, I'd be able to go and find that token. Should be able to find it. Anyways, yeah, I think it's in my wallet somewhere. Let me just check that again.
While you're looking for that,
I called it city. Yeah, there it is. So sorry. I've received this city token into my Raretoshi wallet. I could then go and withdraw it to another Liquid address. I could send it to my Coinos address, or any other liquid address from another wallet. Or I can go ahead and list this for sale on the marketplace. So I can put a price on it, and that creates this special kind of transaction that's not broadcast yet. It's only half filled in. It's called an atomic swap transaction. So it's basically offering the token, the city NFT, in exchange for 0.002 Bitcoin, or 200,000 Satoshis. And what needs to happen next is a buyer needs to come along and fill in the other half of this transaction. And then it gets broadcast to the Liquid chain and completed. So let me just sign in with another account here. I'm trying to go and purchase that. I'll click the Buy It Now button. So this transaction's pending. I'll just go and mine that, and we should see the ownership updates from Alice to Bob. This transaction now has Bob adding his Bitcoin input and paying the fee. Alice has received her coins, and this trade has been executed. So it's been broadcast to the Liquid network. And the really awesome thing here is that this was done just between Alice and Bob directly. So Alice has the keys to her wallet. She created the token. She paid the fee to mint it, and she set her price. Bob came and accepted the trade. At no point did Alice have to, move that token to a third-party exchange or put it up in escrow anywhere. Because this transaction is just a single transaction, it's either all or nothing. There's no risk of her having to send the token to Bob and then Bob not delivering the Bitcoin, or vice versa. They both, put up their respective inputs, and it's done atomically. So it's kind of allowing a peer-to-peer transaction to take place with no third party.
Awesome. So I'm gonna jump. There's a bunch of questions queued up again. So one right before that one was the NFTCON avocado farm is forward-looking and available today. What have you learned from users? That one actually goes live in a couple months. So we're building it in the background, but it's not live yet. It's really exciting, though. I like the donation capability in perpetuity. Again, that you can not only get dividends from this for the next 25 years with this NFT, you can also give to a local family on the ground, which is, that's the kind of value alignment that I like. How is Liquid different from the Lightning Network? So Lightning and Liquid are both layer 2 protocols that sit on top of Bitcoin, but Lightning is useful for speeding up transactions off the main Bitcoin blockchain. So it's really useful for doing P2P or person-to-person transactions, and for using our POS. Also in CoinOS, we have a full point of sale for businesses to accept Bitcoin. While I'm thinking of it, for those who are interested, if you go to coinos.io and create an account with our web wallet, that username becomes your profile URL. So I'm KRIS on CoinOS, which means if you go to coinos.io/Kris, you can see my Bitcoin, my Liquid, and my Lightning addresses. So you can send me sats from Lightning if you want to instantly. But with Liquid, it shows my Liquid address. So you could now send me NFTs without having to know my Liquid address. You can just go to coinos.io/Kris. So you can have that on your business card or on your website. And so you don't have to remember your Bitcoin address, your Lightning, or your Liquid. You can just point people to that URL. So I thought that people would be interested in that. How much does it cost to mint an NFT on Rare Toshi? Is the question. So I think, Adam, have they changed, or are they?
It's 3 cents.
3
about
cents,
3
yeah,
cents.
Okay. So they've hit it. So they haven't done any markup. So it's 3 cents to mint on Rare Toshi. Next question. Sorry, the SIM swapping one. So how does it prevent SIM swapping? Well, so that's a client. Again, we're a white label, so we dance this line of it's up to the client if they want to disclose that we've built it, but we don't want to steal their thunder. So they're going to be launching this fancy technology that does prevent SIM swapping. But in terms of the details, I haven't talked to them to get consent to disclose the nuance of how they're doing it, but I just wanted to articulate it as a new and exciting use case of NFTs that probably hasn't been thought of or talked about before. One of the questions was why the Bitcoin blockchain? Why not Bitcoin is, I think, the better question. If you think about why you've used any network that's not Bitcoin, it was probably for a specific functionality. And I think that Liquid has solved for a lot of that functionality now. So the reason that I used Ethereum in the past was because of the smart contract capability. But now, especially with gas fees, which are ludicrous, I saw one going around Twitter yesterday if somebody got prompted for like a 6-figure gas fee yesterday or in the last 48 hours, which is just, insane to play with that level of volatility and transaction time and cost. So it's, I think, to me, I think, why would you use any other, like, I want to ride the Bitcoin wave with everyone, right? Like, I want to stack sats. Bitcoin is going to be the king. It always has been the king. Why would you use another chain that has a less secure, decentralized structure behind it? It doesn't make sense to me that you would want to have your NFTs or any assets on anything other than sitting on top of Bitcoin somewhere. Not sure if there's any other questions, but we're seeing blockchain. Yeah, I think that's it for questions. If Adam, if you anything else on the demo that you can think of?
I covered the basics. One thing I didn't really get to was the royalties. So people can, as an artist, if you want to set a royalty on one of the artworks that you're minting, you can choose any percent you want. And the platform will take care of making sure that any secondary sales of the artwork, that royalty is going to be sent back to the artist. And the way it does that is using a multi-signature account. So when you put a royalty on it, you actually transfer the token to a 2 of 2 address with the platform. And the platform will only sign off on future sales or transactions to release the token to people if they're paying the royalty. And if they're also sending it to another address that it can maintain that control of. So another 2 of 2 address that it has a signing key on. So that's the way that we're able to kind of add royalties to the token sales. And we're working on expanding that. So besides just having a royalty to the original artist, you'll be able to send royalties to multiple recipients, different percentages to different parties. So you could have a bunch of different addresses. One person gets 2% of every sale, another person gets 3%. So there's all kinds of use cases that we envision for that. So just want to mention that.
I'm just going to jump in here because I'm doing a time check, and I think we're kind of getting the hook's going to come out shortly. So I just wanted to, we love answering questions. We're live on, if you're on Twitter, it's at Coinos Wallet. You can also find Adam and I there. So feel free to reach out. I love questions. There's no such thing as stupid questions. The one last question I'm seeing is, can any artist sell on Rare Toshi? So Blockstream has chosen a curated model, so you can get approved as an artist there. So it's not an open, we don't have any clients right now that have a, but again, if you're interested in setting that up, we can build the tech stack for you, and you can be the first non-curated digital art gallery using Bitcoin, which again is king. So again, we're open source. You don't have to use us. You can just take our technology and use it for yourself for free. So feel free to steal our code and use it. But I just want to say thanks again to Michael and Esther for the opportunity to kind of reveal ourselves, because we're usually under the hood and head down. So it's great to kind of talk to the community and engage with the community. It's been a lot of fun the last few days watching all the talks. And yeah, thanks again.